winning habits. So this is a new mini series about habits that you need to win and outlast everybody in the long term. This is the first video where we're going to talk about the 5 basic habits that you need to develop. So keep watching. So the first habit that's very important for you to develop is the habit of being very, very comfortable with being by yourself, being alone. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, there's a saying in business that success has a lot of fathers and failure is usually an orphan. What that basically means is that when something goes very, very well, a lot of people take credit for it. And when something goes horribly wrong, when there's, you fail at something, usually you're the only one to blame. Well, it's kind of like that in a sense that when people make plans and people talk about their plans, usually you get a lot of people that want to do stuff with you. They want to go and work out, go to the gym with you. They want to start a business with you. They want to play some sports with you. They want to do A, B, C, D, and E with you. But when it comes down to actually doing things, now it's the time to take action. There's significantly less people that will actually go ahead and do it with you. Now, for a lot of people, that may mean that, let's say you agreed you're going to go, you're going to start working out, you're going to go to the gym with somebody, and that person lets you down. You're going to sort of postpone your own workout habit. You're going to say, well, if he can't go today, I won't go today. We're going to start again tomorrow. Same with business. We plan to start something together, but he doesn't have the money right now. He doesn't have the time right now. So I guess we'll postpone the whole thing. You need to learn to be comfortable with doing things all by yourself. You need to learn to be comfortable with, celebrating achievements by yourself. Just doing things and only depending on you. If you plan to go to start a new workout plan, do it alone, because then you'll get it done. If you wanted to start a business, you had a hobby, you want to start a business, make something out of it, and nobody joins you or people are just talking about joining you, do it alone and be comfortable with it. A lot of the times, even when you have your biggest victories, you'll see that not as many people around you are happy for you as you hope they would be. So if you get comfortable with doing things, with celebrating, with just being good all on your own, you'll be very well off. Entrepreneurship is a lonely sport. Get used to it. And if you develop it, if it becomes a habit where you don't need anybody to do something, you'll get a lot more done. Number 2. You need to learn to give before you ask. Now, what I really mean by that is that people don't necessarily trust what you say, because there's so many people around these days that tell you that they're good at that and they can do this and this and this and this for you. And I think people, or at least serious companies that are working or potentially could work with you, have learned to not look at what you say, but at what you do. And it's one of the reasons, why we're creating this kind of content on YouTube, and why a lot of other people are doing some sort of work for free, some sort of work to show what they can do. So it's action, it's not just words. So you need to get it into a habit or into a mentality that until you achieve a certain level, until you show that you can produce certain quality, it's okay for you to give some content for free. It's okay for you to do something for somebody before you ask them for a favor. And if you learn to practice that, if you're good at what you do, if you're able to show that you can create quality material, quality content, typically people will come back to you themselves, and you won't even have to ask that they do something for you. You won't have to ask for the sell. They will come back and ask you for the sell by themselves. But get into the habit that you need to prove yourself, and only then you can ask for something. The third thing, which now relates to the second thing, is even though I said, okay, you have to give before you get or give before you ask, the third thing, which a lot of people don't do, is actually ask. You see, one of the main things that kills off businesses and ideas, in my experience, is that people are afraid to ask. They think that it's practically impossible that this business would agree to what I'm asking. And so they just don't ask. And by not asking, a lot of deals stay on the table. They stay just as ideas. I'll give you an example. Back in the day when I was doing music and recording tracks, we had 50 Cent come over to perform. And we got to meet him. We got to sort of warm up and meet the whole entourage simply by asking the organizer if they need somebody to help show him around. Most people would say that that's an outlandish idea, that they would never go for it. But we asked, and because we were probably the only ones who were so crazy or that thought we could actually get away with it, we actually got the deal. And those kind of things happen to us over and over again. In one of the businesses where we do video production, we thought, you know what? We don't just want to do it locally. We want to go to the best hotel in the world, the most popular hotel in the world, and see if we could do something for them. You know what we did? We took Instagram, we opened direct messages, and we just asked, can we do this for you? Guess what? 2 weeks later, they said, we love what you do. Come over and let's do it. So I hear it all the time. People are thinking that their idea is too crazy, that there's no possible way that this business would agree to give us something or to work with us because probably 100 other people have already asked them. Well, guess what? They haven't. People are afraid to ask. People don't like asking. And so if you do ask, 80% of the time, either you'll get the deal or at least you'll get an acknowledgement. You'll get your profile seen by them. They'll tell you, maybe we can't work with you now, but we can work with you later on. But it's way better than not asking at all. The fourth thing is a concept that you need to understand that, at least in my experience, I want to be just and I want to be fair, but I don't chase making the world a more just or fair place. What I mean by that is try to control how you are towards people, how you are in business. Be just, be fair to people. But if you try to sort of change the world and make it a more just place, a lot of the time you'll end up wasting energy where you should be actually concentrating energy and putting it into your business. I had a situation where, I thought that the process, we were going through one bankruptcy process, and I thought it was unfair and I thought it was unjust because there's a little bit of what seemed to me unfair dealings. I spent so much time trying to prove it, ended up not getting the result that I wanted and wasting a whole lot of time. So when you try to make a whole large situation more just, if you see unjust something in a business which is being wrongfully done, you see that somebody's being treated unfairly. If you're gonna try to solve the entire situation and make whole processes better or more just, a lot of the time you will waste your time on trying to improve something that requires either generation or years to improve. It goes also into the concept that don't always chase a lot of the small projects. Don't waste your energy on doing a lot of small things. Just concentrate on one thing, on what you can control and what you can do right, and where you can be fair and just, and push your energy towards that one concentration. If you try to break your energy up into chasing things which are very difficult for one person to fix, or just doing too many things, you will end up wasting your energy. The fifth thing is always make it your business to do business. Now, what do I mean by that? All of us have hobbies. What I try to do is I try to monetize or make a business out of everything that I enjoy doing, or out of everything where I need to spend money. So for example, I enjoyed hip hop music a lot, ended up, getting a record deal with Sony BMG, just pushed really, really hard and tried to monetize my hobby. Love traveling, so ended up doing a blog, getting some equipment and offering hotels and resorts, production, video production, 3D tours, drone footage, stuff like that. And they were actually allow us to either stay for free or even paid us for those jobs. I loved finance. I really enjoyed, studying the stock market. So I ended up partnering with a hedge fund. So what I'm trying to say is that any hobby, anything that you do, try to make a business out of it. Try to find a way where it can earn you some money, including things or expensive things that you buy. Try to make them work more as assets than as expenses where you just write them off. Always look for, how do I make a business out of it? Now, it might not always be possible to make a business out of it, but it doesn't matter, because it will get you thinking. It will get your brain to work in such a way of always trying to find a business out of the situation. And when you do that, 9 out of 10 times you will come up with new creative ways to actually either make money or at least cover the expenses that are associated with whatever you're doing. If you practice that, you'll get a lot more creative and you'll find that there's a lot more businesses to be found than the ones you're looking for right now. So I hope those 5 basic habits helped. If you work on them, if you develop them, I promise you, you will be a lot more successful than a lot of people out there. Stay tuned. It's just the beginning of a mini series. We're going to do a lot of those habits. And as always, subscribe, hit the bell, and write in the comments what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and any successful or sort of winning habits that you have. Thanks for watching. It was awesome.